Social engineering isn't clever in the way people think it's clever.
It isn't a genius in a basement, stroking a cat and guessing passwords by candlelight.
Although, to be fair, that would make procurement meetings more interesting.
It's research, timing, pressure, and a believable story.
That's the nasty part. Most social engineering attacks don't work because the attacker is a wizard.
They work because the attacker knows enough about the victim to sound normal.
They know the company, they know the director, they know who reports to who, they know the current project, they know the supplier, they know the tone.
And they often know that before the first message lands.
So today, we aren't talking about the phishing email. We're talking about everything that happened before it.
He's the guy with the plan for your online life. Keeps your data safe, cuts through the strife. Small biz owners, yeah, this is your guide. Cyber threats, beware, no place to hide. The Small Business Cybersecurity Guy, guarding your world with a sharp eagle eye. Tips and tricks to keep your systems tight. Stay secure, stay strong in the digital fight.
Welcome back to the Small Business Cybersecurity Guy. I'm Noel Bradford, and this is episode 2 of the Open Book Problem. Last time, Corin showed how fast a UK SMB director can be profiled using public, legal, passive sources.
Today, we take that profile and turn it into an attack plan.
Not as a how-to guide for criminals, before anyone gets twitchy.
A little late for twitchy. We're discussing public registers, data brokers, social platforms, and human weakness.
Fine. Not more twitchy than usual.
The goal is defensive understanding. If you know how attackers build credibility, you can remove the easiest building blocks.
And we need to connect this to the UK problem, because our public data environment gives attackers a running start.
In intelligence work, reconnaissance is normal. You learn the terrain before you move. You identify people, relationships, routines, pressures, incentives, dependencies, and weak points.
Which also sounds like preparing for a decent business meeting.
Exactly. The method isn't always sinister. The intent changes everything.
Due diligence with malice.
That's a useful phrase. Criminal social engineering often looks like hostile due diligence. The attacker asks 4 questions. Who can approve? Who can be pressured? Who can be impersonated? Who will bypass process because the request appears to come from someone important?
In small businesses, those questions often point at the same 3 people.
The managing director, the finance lead, the operations lead, sometimes the external IT provider, sometimes the accountant.
And sometimes the poor person who knows the banking portal password because everyone else hates the interface.
A surprisingly common strategic dependency.
Here's the part that will annoy people. UK SMB directors are unusually exposed.
Compared with some European countries, the UK publishes more business registry data in a more accessible form.
We shouldn't overstate it. Every country has disclosure rules. Every system has trade-offs.
Correct, but the UK combines accessible company records, visible director data, an open electoral register option, a strong broker ecosystem, and a business culture that overshares on professional networks.
Add LinkedIn humble bragging and job adverts that read like network diagrams, and you've a buffet.
Attackers like cheap signal. The UK provides cheap signal.
That doesn't mean every director is doomed. It means the baseline risk is higher than most people realise.
The exposure is structural. It isn't only an individual mistake. It's produced by law, habit, platform design, commercial reuse, and weak regulation. Let's walk through the chain. First, selection. The attacker chooses a company that looks worth the effort.
Not necessarily huge, just useful.
They may look for growth, change, recent appointments, public procurement, new funding, a migration project, a merger, a dispute, or a visible supplier relationship.
In other words, anything that creates noise.
Second, mapping. The attacker identifies key people and the relationships between them.
Director, finance, HR, operations, IT support, accountant, solicitor, telecoms provider, bank.
Third, pretext. The attacker builds a story that fits the target's world,
Not generic nonsense about a prince needing gift cards.
though gift cards remain a depressing monument to human optimism.
Optimism is doing a lot of work there.
A stronger pretext references something current: a supplier change, a document review, a payroll issue, a travel request, a new device, a support ticket, a Teams message.
That's why public context matters. A vague scam gets ignored. A familiar scam gets handled.
Fourth, delivery: email, phone, SMS, WhatsApp, Teams, LinkedIn, or help desk request.
And fifth, pressure. Time pressure, authority pressure, embarrassment pressure, helpfulness pressure.
The attacker wants the victim to act before they verify.
We've to talk about Scattered Spider because it shows the shape of the modern problem.
Public reporting around major UK retail incidents has highlighted social engineering as a serious concern, including attacks on help desks and identity processes.
The important lesson isn't that every business faces the same threat actor. They don't.
The lesson is that identity support processes are attack surfaces.
Password resets, MFA resets, new phone enrollment, emergency access, temporary bypass, new starter setup, leaver mistakes.
These processes depend on trust. Attackers research enough to satisfy weak trust checks.
Date of birth, job title, manager name, office location, last 4 digits of a phone number, supplier name, current project, all the little scraps that make someone sound legitimate.
A help desk script built around static knowledge is fragile.
Because static knowledge is just gossip with a filing system.
That's inelegant, but correct.
Now bring this down from national retailers to a normal UK SMB.
The attacker researches the director. They find the finance contact. They find the accountant. They see that the company has recently changed systems or suppliers.
They send an email that appears to come from the director while the director is at an event visible on LinkedIn.
The email asks finance to process an urgent supplier payment before close of business.
Because apparently every fraudster has studied the ancient dark art of Friday afternoon.
Or they call the IT provider pretending to be the director, using enough context to request an MFA reset.
Or they message a junior employee on Teams and say the director needs them to open a document.
The first compromise may not be technical, it may be procedural.
Which is why buying another shiny security box won't save you if your verification process is held together with vibes and a shared inbox.
Job adverts deserve special attention.
Because nothing says operational security like publishing your entire internal stack to attract 3 applicants and a recruiter called Darren.
A job advert can reveal Microsoft 365, Azure, Google Workspace, Fortinet, SonicWall, Sage, Xero, QuickBooks, SharePoint, Teams, Intune, Datto, ConnectWise, VMware, backup tools, EDR platforms, and migration projects.
Most of that sounds harmless until an attacker uses it to write a more believable message.
A fake SharePoint request works better when the company is publicly recruiting for SharePoint migration experience.
A fake firewall maintenance email works better when the advert mentions the firewall vendor.
A fake payroll file works better when the company publishes the payroll platform.
You can hire without writing the attack brief.
Describe the role, keep vendor specifics internal unless truly needed. Use broader categories where possible.
We need to tread carefully here. I'm not saying staff should never post online.
Visibility has business value. Recruitment, marketing, partnerships, customer trust, and personal reputation matter.
Also, if nobody posts on LinkedIn, how will we know who is humbled, delighted, and thrilled at 8 in the morning?
But patterns matter. Public travel, public absence, public internal celebrations, public new starters, public platform screenshots, public customer names, public supplier names.
Any one of those may be fine. The stack of them becomes useful.
Attackers rarely need one perfect source. They build confidence by combining imperfect sources.
That's the open book problem in one sentence.
First, map your own exposure. Search your company, directors, senior staff, domains, job adverts, and public profiles.
Not once, quarterly. Things change.
Second, create verification rules for sensitive requests.
New bank details, urgent payments, MFA resets, password resets, payroll changes, supplier changes, director requests, all need a separate verification path.
The verification path must not use the same channel as the request.
If the request arrives by email, verify by known phone number. Not the number in the email, the known number.
Third, train staff on pretext, not just phishing indicators.
Stop teaching people that scams have bad spelling. Some do. Some are better written than your supplier newsletters.
A low bar in many cases.
Brutal, but fair.
Fourth, harden identity processes. Use phishing-resistant MFA for high-risk roles where possible. Require strong checks before reset or enrollment changes.
Your help desk is a security control. Treat it like one. This is where the politics comes back in. When the UK requires disclosure, permits commercial reuse, sells open register data, and then shrugs at the broker ecosystem, it creates reconnaissance fuel.
The state doesn't cause every attack. Criminals make choices, businesses make mistakes, vendors fail, users click, processes break.
Agreed. But we can't keep pretending public data policy is separate from cyber risk.
Social engineering depends on context. Public data provides context.
So if we care about reducing cybercrime against small businesses, we need to care about what data gets published, who repackages it, and how easy it's to abuse. Let's talk about the phone call, because too many businesses still think fraud arrives wearing an email subject line.
Voice attacks work because they compress time. A person on the phone feels present. The pressure feels immediate. The target has less time to inspect the request.
And most of us were raised to be helpful on the phone, which is lovely until a criminal uses politeness as a crowbar.
The attacker may call as a director, a supplier, a bank, a recruiter, an IT technician, or a customer.
The script doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be plausible enough to get one action.
One reset, one file opened, one payment held back, one payment released, one phone number changed, one new device approved.
That's why process beats instinct.
A trained user may still feel pressure. A clear process gives them permission to slow down.
That phrase matters. Permission to slow down.
Staff need to know that checking a sensitive request isn't rude, obstructive, or unhelpful. It's the job.
If your culture punishes people for verifying, your culture is part of the attack path.
Supplier impersonation is a common route for SMB fraud.
It works because suppliers are already trusted.
The attacker identifies a supplier from invoices, public case studies, LinkedIn posts, website badges, email disclaimers, job adverts, or social media references.
Businesses love putting supplier logos on their websites. It says credibility. It also says target list.
A fake message then claims bank details have changed, an invoice is overdue, a payment failed, a portal has moved, or a document needs approval.
None of that feels exotic. That's why it works. It hides inside the grey sludge of normal business admin.
The defense is simple, but it must be enforced. Supplier bank detail changes need independent verification using a known contact route already held on file.
Not the phone number in the email, not the email signature on the request, not the helpful link, the known route.
Record the verification, who checked it, who they spoke to, which number they used, when it happened.
Yes, it's boring. Fraud prevention often looks like being professionally boring at the correct moment. This is where I get annoyed with lazy awareness training.
A familiar theme.
Too much training teaches users to spot cartoon phishing, bad spelling, weird logos, suspicious links, a print with cash flow issues.
Modern social engineering often looks clean, relevant, and context-aware.
So the training needs to cover pressure, authority, urgency, secrecy, channel switching, and process bypass.
It should include examples that match the business. Finance requests for finance staff, reset requests for support staff, supplier changes for operations, recruitment scams for HR.
Generic training creates generic awareness. Attackers don't attack generic businesses. They attack yours.
The best exercise is to map real sensitive processes and ask how someone would abuse public information to manipulate them.
Which sounds grim. Good. Security planning should occasionally ruin a perfectly nice cup of tea.
Director exposure isn't only about the business.
This matters because when a director's home life becomes part of the attack surface, the risk changes.
Public address clues, family references, charity roles, local community involvement, school-related posts, property records, and personal interests can all strengthen a pretext.
We aren't blaming people for having lives.
No, the responsibility sits with the attacker. But risk management requires knowing what's exposed.
If a criminal can mention your local area, your child's school event, your partner's business, or your charity role, the message feels less random.
That creates trust transfer. The target assumes the sender must be legitimate because they know something personal.
But knowing something personal is no longer proof of legitimacy. It's proof that search engines exist.
A better SMB control set starts with sensitive action rules.
Write them down. Don't rely on tribal knowledge.
Payment changes require dual approval. New suppliers require independent verification. MFA resets require strong identity checks. Password resets require known root confirmation. Emergency exceptions require post-event review.
And directors must follow the same rules.
Especially directors.
If the boss can bypass the process, the attacker will pretend to be the boss. This isn't complex, it's depressingly obvious.
Also document who can approve what. Attackers thrive when authority is vague.
Vague authority is where fraud goes to breed.
Finally, rehearse. Run short scenarios. Ask what staff would do. Find the awkward gaps before a criminal does.
Tabletop exercises. Cheap, quick, and less painful than explaining to your bank why you wired money to a criminal with excellent email etiquette.
Today we followed the attacker from research to pretext to pressure.
We showed why targeted attacks feel personal, because they're built from personal context.
The practical message is simple. Remove unnecessary detail. Verify sensitive requests. Harden reset processes. Train for pretext, not just suspicious links.
Next episode, Lucy joins me. We'll talk about the regulator who looked the other way.
That title sounds restful.
It won't be. What would an attacker learn about your business before lunch today? And what would you remove before they get hungry?
Right. Before we let you go completely, let's have a quick chat about the boring but necessary legal bits. Don't worry, I'll make this as painless as possible. First up, and this is important, everything we've said today represents our own personal opinions and experiences. These views are ours alone and don't represent any organisation we work for, any employers, advertisers, sponsors, or anyone else who might be connected to the show. When we're giving you advice or sharing our thoughts, that's coming from us as individuals, not speaking on behalf of anyone else. Everything we've talked about today is for general guidance. It's meant to point you in the right direction, but it absolutely shouldn't be treated as professional advice tailored specifically to your business. Your situation is unique. What works brilliantly for a Birmingham bakery might be completely useless for a Manchester marketing agency. We do our very best to keep everything accurate and current, but let's be honest here. The cybersecurity world moves faster than a caffeinated squirrel being chased up a tree by Mauvin's Jack Russell. Things can change between when we record and when you're listening, so always double check critical technical details with qualified professionals before you go making major changes to your systems. If we've mentioned any websites, products or services, we're giving you information, not necessarily giving them our seal of approval. We can't be responsible for what happens on their end or if things go sideways when you use them. Some things we recommend might involve affiliate partnerships. We'll always flag those when they come up because transparency matters. Now, if you're dealing with serious cybersecurity incidents, actual data breaches, or gnarly legal compliance issues, please talk to proper professionals, rather than just relying on podcast advice. We're here to educate and help you understand the landscape, not to replace your security consultant, solicitor, or IT team. This has been a Small Business Cybersecurity Guy production. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved.
Small Biz Cyber Guy says goodbye. Until next time, keep your day